Today we're going to talk about 4 critical pieces to the puzzle of understanding how to make money selling, buying, trading, collecting, investing in Magic the Gathering cards. There are lots of things you can do, but there's 4 big buckets we're going to talk about. Bucket number 1 is listening to the experts. Let me share my screen. There are many YouTube channels. Obviously this one, thank you for watching, but there's many others. These are some of them. These are not all of them, and these aren't even... I mean, I could be missing some big ones, but these are channels that I have learned from. They're kind of split up. There's this like eBay TCG player section. These are channels I've particularly enjoyed listening to, learning from when it comes to selling, buying and selling. There's this kind of distro partner channel. These are all people who own card stores and have some kind of distribution partnership program. Pause. What is that? So if for Magic the Gathering to get access to product at cost, at like wholesale cost, you need to have a distributor. And to get a distributor, you need to own a brick and mortar store. And so if you wanted to, you could open up a trading card store. You could go get a lease and get a building and reach out to Wizards and get official... I don't even know exactly how it works. I don't own a trading card store, but it's something that technically anybody can do, but you need to have that brick and mortar store before Wizards allows the distribution partners they work with to sell you cards and inventory directly. So what do these people do? Well, these people, for everyone from Alpha Investments to Final Trade to Kevin with Row Deck Builder and Louis with Kitchen Table Trading Card Games, Rob with RNG Games, and on with whatever his store is, they all have brick and mortar stores, or at least Rudy used to. I don't know if he does anymore. And they have distribution access. And they have programs that you can join where you often have to pay some amount monthly to get access to product at distribution costs or close to distribution costs. They're really incredible programs. I highly recommend them. That's not what this video is about. Each of these people also have a YouTube channel, and their YouTube channels are fire. Each one of these, you can learn so much about markets, about prices, about what to buy when, about how TCG player works, how eBay works, how selling from your basement works, how Facebook Marketplace works. Anyways, all these people are incredible YouTube channels, great people to follow. You can look them up. Who else is on here? We've got some recreational channels, people like Magic Historian or The Professor with Tolarian Community College, Pleasant Kenobi. I love myself some Pleasant Kenobi. Joel R. Magic, MTG Moxman, Josh with Hometown TCG. These are all great channels that will teach you not as much focusing on the like how to make money side, but about Magic. If you want to make money with Magic, it's good to know more about the game, know more about what's popular, what isn't popular, what kind of cards are people excited about, what are the prices people are paying, and what are they excited about? What are these people going to buy? Because that might be what you want to sell. And then, of course, there's Meaty Magic. All hail Meaty Magic. So YouTube is an incredible resource to learn, to grow, to understand more about the markets, to learn lessons from the people that have gone before you. It is, I could not recommend it more. I pay for YouTube Premium, not sponsored. YouTube Premium does not sponsor me, but I pay for YouTube Premium because I listen to so much YouTube. And the coolest feature of YouTube Premium is that you can pull up a YouTube video and then turn your phone, lock your phone and still listen to it. And maybe there's jailbreak ways to do it or whatever, but I fork over the incredibly high amount of money they charge a month that they keep raising because I listen to so much YouTube. And every day I am listening to Magic the Gathering content creators because that's how I keep up with what is going on. And I think that has helped me in my journey to make money with cardboard. Right. So that's 1 out of 4. 3 more. Research. Research is a big one. Not the biggest, but it's a big one. You need to do research. You need to spend time looking into the numbers of cards and of prices and figuring out what is worth your time, what is worth your investment. So for example, I did a little science experiment the other week on stream where I pulled up, these are secret lair drops from past years. And So for example, the Bitter Blossom Dreams. This was a secret lair that came out in 2019 that you could buy for $40. And today you could sell it for $76. And after shipping and fees, you'd have a 7% gain. Very cool. Very cool. Although if you're following along, that was 7 years ago. And to get 7% over 7 years is not incredible gains. And that's interesting. It is interesting to know that if you bought some of these original secret lairs that they haven't reprinted, they have not gone up in value. What does that tell us? It tells us, I think, something about collectability, and that sometimes these things that are so interesting and collectible and rare just aren't. They actually just aren't. Quite a few secret lairs I grabbed here and kind of looked at prices, and some have crazy outperformed what their original prices were. Most have not. Just interesting. But this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about doing some research, looking into these things, and asking yourself, these questions about like, hey, are secret lairs a viable long-term investment piece? I think the answer in general is no. And I haven't, this is quite the small grab of secret lairs. So I can't really say on the secret lair hypothesis yet, but here's another one that I've done. And I know that I've shown this quite a few times, but I just think it's so cool to look at every collector booster box that's come out since 2020. And if you bought them at MSRP like prices, like what stores were selling them for, would you make money holding on to them for all these years? So something like a Commander Legends booster box you could have bought in 2020 for $240. Today it's selling for $720. That's a 50% gain year over year. Yeah, 50% gain since 2020. So for 6 years. Incredible stuff. And you can see that all of these from 2020 net positive over the years. Some perform very well, like Commander Legends. Some don't really perform much at all, like Theros Beyond Death. And then we can look at 2021. Look, some of these have performed negative. How do I know this? I know this because I crunched the numbers. You gotta get down and dirty with the data and figure out what do these prices mean. Of course, what I'm talking about here, what I'm showing off here are kind of investable theses. Like, are these good things to buy and hold on for long terms? But you're likely more interested in the short term. I'm more interested in the short term. And you need tools and data to be able to know what to buy in the short term. I recently joined Anon's Patreon type program, and it has access to an EV calculator. There's also things like Mox Alpha, not a sponsor. None of these are sponsored. I'm not sponsored. That you can use to track expected value of sealed product. So you can know what to open and what to sell. And this actually, I'm starting to bleed into the third category. So let me wrap up this second category. Doing the research, getting the numbers, knowing what is worth what, is a critical part to being able to make money with Magic cards. And so think about that. If you're not tech savvy, if you're not number savvy, it might be a hard thing to do, but there's a lot of help out there. And that gets into our third thing. So 3 out of 4 is Discords. Discord channels, Discord communities, I think are just a critical part of learning in this trading card space, learning what to do, how to do it, learning from some of the best, learning from people who have been doing this for a long, long time. I have a story on Discord, Discord channels sharing. I was using Shippo for shipping. So if you don't know, TCG Player, when you sell on TCG Player, does not have any shipping services built in. You have to figure out how to add tracking to your own shipments using some other service. And you might be thinking like, oh yeah, everyone uses Pirate Ship. But I didn't know that. How would I know that? I was just a new seller. And so I'm using Shippo, and I was using Shippo, and it's great until I hit their free limit. And then suddenly Shippo is like, hey, we want to charge you like $10 a month or whatever it was to allow you to use our service to print labels. And I'm like, there must be a better way. And so go to this Discord channel, a Discord community. And by the way, I feel like I can pull up this Miro board, but I feel like most of these Patreon type programs have a Discord, often for free. Like I know Louis does, I know Anon does, I think Final Trade does, and I think Kevin does. And so these are the Discord channels that I'm talking about, but there's others too. I've found people on TikTok. I've found other YouTube channels that have Discords and communities where you can go in and ask questions like I did. Like I asked about, hey, I'm using Shippo for shipping, but does somebody have any recommendations? And somebody was like, oh yeah, Pirate Ship, duh. And I was like, oh, yep, Pirate Ship. And I've been using Pirate Ship ever since, right? And you might think like, oh, Pirate Ship is obvious. Or you'd be like me, where you don't think it's obvious. But, it's just, the point is, when you're learning, nothing is obvious, right? And when you're getting started, this is all brand new information. How would you know? How would you know, right? The right way to ship or the right way to do things. But there's a lot of really nice people like myself, just really awesome, nice people that are in these channels that are ready to answer questions. It's fun to help people. It really is. And so you can, if you need help, you can take advantage of that by don't be annoying, but ask your questions and let people help you learn how to make money selling cardboard. You can learn from other people's experiences, kind of like how I'm recommending watching YouTubers to learn from their experience. There's a lot of powerful, interesting people in these Discord channels that you can learn from. Even if you're not actively asking questions, even just lurking, there's a lot you can learn. I'm not super active on any of these Discords, but just reading the conversations, treating it like, kind of like a newsletter. Every day you go into these Discords and you just read through, what are people talking about? A lot to learn there. People are happy to share what their plays are, kind of like how I share what my plays are on this YouTube channel, right? The ways that I'm using my money to make more money in the short term and the long term. A lot of people, a lot of Discord channels to get great advice and great value from. Fourth thing, 4 out of 4, is experience. There's no way around it. If you want to become a master at making money selling magic cards, you've got to just do it. And what that means, generally speaking, is you have to buy something that you believe you'll be able to flip for making money, and then you got to try your best to figure out how to sell the pieces and parts to make money. And it is an interesting process, right? Because you could buy a collection all kinds of places. You can buy on eBay, you can buy on Facebook Marketplace, you can, in these Discord channels, often there's products or people who are trying to sell things. There's Facebook groups, organized Facebook groups that buy, sell, trade. And so what it comes down to, what I recommend you start with, actually, if you're lacking experience, if you have not sold stuff, I suggest you sell one of those commander decks that you just don't play with anymore, or something like that, right? And there's just so many ways. It is such a puzzle to be solved and to figure out. Because, like, let's say, you've got a commander deck you don't play with anymore, you don't love it, it's worth $100. But there's like $101 cards. What do? Well, you could list $101 cards on TCG Player and sell them one at a time. And that is one way to do it. You could also list the entire deck all at once on eBay. You'll find, though, that in order to get, basically the easier it is to sell it in one package, the lower the price has to be for your listing. So I should say that what's the right way to explain this? Just if you have $101 cards, the most you could sell that for on eBay is probably like $60. Whereas if you're selling 100 single $1 cards on TCG Player or on eBay, you could charge $1 for each of those cards. And so you'll make more money selling the individual cards one at a time, but it's obviously a lot quicker, a lot easier, a lot faster to sell the whole deck as just one bundle and say like, hey, buy this deck, $60, and then you can share the list too. And you can even share screenshots of the TCG Player that's like, yep, it's $100 of cards, but I'm selling it for $60. Who wants it? And somebody would probably bite. So I've done both, by the way. I've sold decks as packages on eBay. I've sold decks locally on Facebook Marketplace. I have pieced apart decks and sold cards. And so Lots of different ways. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle to figure out. I've bought collections where it was so easy to make money from them. I was just able to sell the expensive cards and sell the inexpensive cards, $1 less as like lots, and boom, made money. There's been other things I've bought where I realized after the fact, oh, whoa, I spent a bunch of money on a lot of junk. How am I going to make money from this? And then I like piece together lots, like 250 card bags or 500 card bags in gallon bags. That's what I mean by bags. I'm grabbing like stacks of 500 cards, putting them in gallon Ziploc bags, and then on Facebook Marketplace saying like $20 per bag. And people were all about that. But I bought this, guys. I spent like $300 on a ton, like kind of crates of cards, but it was mostly bulk. There were some goodies in there. I was kind of betting on there being more goodies. And so I had to get creative. I'm like, how am I going to get my money back? And it turned into a lot of work, right? It was a lot of effort to like break even, which sounds so dumb. It sounds so dumb, and it kind of is. But the thing is that that's the kind of experience. Like I would not be where I am today with, I made 6 figures last year, which I know to some people that's a lot. To some people that's nothing. I didn't net 6 figures. I sold gross like 6 figures of cardboard last year, and pocketed probably somewhere between 10, 20 grand. And the way that I got there was all of this experience. Trying out new things, just getting, like I was calling it the puzzle solving, right? You buy stuff and then it's like, how can I make the most money from this? I bought booster boxes where the most money I could make is selling them locally at a big discount, or even just like breaking even. Sometimes the most money I can make is selling online on eBay or TCG Player. Sometimes it's not about the most money I can make. Maybe I'm strapped for time or just whatever. And so it's about the quickest. And then often it's like an eBay or TCG Player thing. There's a lot to figure out. There's a lot to experiment with. And that's the invitation. Like I said, where I would begin if I were you is selling stuff from your own collection that you don't really play with or think about or look at anymore. I'm getting ready to sell a Necro. No. What is it called? Hearthhole. I'm going to sell my Hearthhole deck. I'm going to break it apart, sell. Link below. Check out my TCG Player store. but it's a great way to get started, get some inventory. Beyond that, there's a lot of cool tools out there that I'm hoping to talk more about in future videos that you can use to figure out what good prices are and what items you can buy where you can immediately either open them up. Yeah, I mean, usually it's like open them up, break them down, sell the singles, and make money doing that. And that is a really powerful thing. That's definitely how I've made most of my money, is buying sealed commander deck sets or booster boxes, opening them up, selling the singles inside, and you can make good money. You can also break even. You can also lose money. So you got to be careful, but it takes some experience. It takes some time. So just to review, 4 things that I recommend for becoming a professional. 1, listening to experts, YouTube. I shared, and I guess I'll share again, this kind of list of different YouTubers, and I highly recommend checking these people out, subscribing, just listening to what they have to say and what their opinions are on the game and stuff like that. Then, so that's advice number 1, is listening to experts. Number 2 is research, getting into the numbers, tracking, paying attention, get a spreadsheet out and ask yourself, is this product going up? Is this product going down? Is now a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? Getting into the numbers and getting intimate with the details of the market that you want to be a part of, whether that's selling singles or sealed or whatever it might be. The third thing, Discords, participating or just lurking, but learning from the incredible communities that have been built and curated out there. Get your questions answered, join a bunch of Discords, maybe not a bunch, but some, right? And experience is the last one. You've got to just do it. You need to either sell stuff from your own collection or buy something with the intention to sell and do it. Add value to the world through selling Magic the Gathering cards. It is fun. It is energizing for me, at least. I'm talking for me, is that it's a blast. I just broke down a case of Modern Horizons 3. I just scanned the tokens. There was $10 of special tokens that I was able to pull out in my Modern Horizons 3 booster box or case. Crazy, you know? $10 is nothing, but it's interesting, right? It's interesting that tokens can be worth money. Some of them are worth like $2. The cats that Ocelot Pride makes, $2 token right there. You learn something new. Anyways, lots of fun. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and subscribe.